Hi everybody, we're going to go ahead and start talking about the second part of distributive property for problem set 27. It's pretty close to what we did on the worksheet, it's just expanding just a little bit more. So in this problem, example 27.3, we have the equation written, but we have the coefficient on the right side. If you recall from before, I always told you guys that it's better, our brain reads better left to right, so it's probably in your best interest to take 2xy squared and write it on the left side. The next thing you need to do is you need to begin by inserting a coefficient when there are no coefficients. So in front of the ay, I'm going to put a 1. Also, I'm going to add a 1 on all of the variables that don't have an exponent, so that when we begin to add our exponents, we'll see the value. Okay, next I'm going to take the 2xy squared and I'm going to multiply it to the first term and multiply it to the second term. I have to take the 2 and multiply it to the coefficient of 1, which is 2. Then I'm going to look at the xy squared and multiply it to the ay. And if you recall, the rules for multiplying variables state that you can only add the exponent of the same exact variable. So for the x, there are no other x's. For the y squared, there's another y here. But for the a, there are none. So I'm going to begin by putting these, the x, y, and the a, in alphabetical order. So I'm going to say x, a, x, and y. I'm going to count how many a's I have. There are 1. I don't need a 1 here because it wouldn't be simplified. There's 1x. Again, I don't need a 1. But I have 2 plus 1 is 3 y's. That's your first term. I'm then going to multiply the 2 to the negative 4, and I'm going to get negative 8. Notice I'm multiplying the coefficients, but I'm adding the exponents of the variables. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing with the x and the y. I'm going to put them in alphabetical order. And then I'm going to count. I have 1x here, and no other x's here, so it'd be 1. Over here I have 2 y's, and I have another y, so 2 plus 5 would make 7. I look to make sure that the axy to the third and the xy squared are not identical. I can't simplify in this step unless these terms are exactly the same. Since the variables have different varying exponents, they are not like terms, so this is simplified. Okay. Let me look at another example. Okay, so starting on example 27.b, it's basically going to show you how to simplify when equations have decimals with them. I don't believe that you guys need any help with that, so if you do, go ahead and ask, but basically you follow the same rules. Just remember that you're adding and subtracting decimals, so make sure you align them. There shouldn't be any other thing that you have to do to that. Okay guys, see you for the next lesson.